I almost went with one of those cheap signal boosters you see everywhere online. You know the kind promise great reception, deliver patchy bars, and leave you wondering why you wasted your money. But this weBoost Metal Building 200 kit feels different from the start. If you've ever walked into a metal workshop or warehouse and watched your phone drop to 0 bars, you'll understand why this isn't just another gadget, it's a practical fix for a real problem. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The biggest hesitation with cell boosters is always the setup. You don't want to mount a giant antenna on your roof only to realize the signal inside is still weak, or worse, that the kit doesn't cover the space you need. This one uses a directional Yagi antenna outside and a dome antenna inside, which is a smart combo for metal buildings. The Yagi points toward the nearest tower, pulling in whatever signal exists out there, and the dome broadcasts it evenly across up to 10,000 square feet. That's not just marketing, it's how directional and dome antennas are supposed to work together. If you've got a large workshop, garage, or warehouse where employees or customers complain about dropped calls or slow data, this setup actually addresses the layout issue instead of just amplifying noise. I tested it in a semi-rural area where the closest tower was about 3 miles away with some tree cover. Before the booster, calls dropped inside the building, and mobile hotspots barely loaded. After installation, voice calls stayed clear, and basic web browsing worked without constant buffering. That's the real test. Does it solve the problem in a real place, not just in a perfect lab setup? The amplifier is rated for 10,000 square feet, but your mileage depends on the building's construction and the original signal strength. In a solid metal building with thick walls, don't expect miracles in every corner. The dome antenna helps, but if you've got multiple rooms or a basement, you might still see weaker spots. That's a trade-off worth knowing up front. Who should buy this? If you run a small business in a metal building, think auto shops, storage facilities, or rural offices where reliable cell service matters, this kit is a solid investment. It's not cheap, but it's cheaper than losing a customer because they couldn't make a call inside your building. It's also worth considering if you're tired of stepping outside just to get a signal every time you need to check a message or make a call. The setup isn't plug and play, but the instructions are clear enough that most people can handle it with basic tools. Just be prepared to spend a little time positioning the outdoor antenna for the best signal. Who should skip it? If you're in a city with strong coverage or your building isn't metal, you probably don't need this. A simple indoor booster or even a Wi-Fi calling setup would be more cost-effective. Also, if your building is massive, think 20,000 square feet or more, you'll likely need multiple amplifiers or a commercial-grade system, not a single unit rated for 10,000 square feet, and if you're not comfortable drilling into metal or running cables, the installation might feel like more hassle than it's worth. The biggest hidden trade-off is power. The amplifier needs a solid power source, and if your building has frequent outages, you'll lose signal when the power goes. There's no battery backup here, so it's not a solution for emergency situations. Also, because it boosts all carriers at once, you might notice faster data on one network while another carrier still struggles. That's normal with wideband boosters, but it's worth checking which carrier your team or customers use most before committing. Overall, this kit delivers where it counts: real-world use in a metal building where signal is otherwise unreliable. It's not a magic fix for every spot in a huge warehouse, but it's a practical step up from no signal at all. If you've been frustrated by dropped calls or slow data inside a metal building, this might be the upgrade you need. Check it out using the link in the description if it sounds like the right fit for your space.